Hi everyone, Sri Vignesh here. So this is day 33 of me sharing my learnings and explaining things in English. So as I'm preparing for PL3 NET exam, the topic for today is optimize direct query models with the table level storage, create and manage aggregations. So let's go to the notion. And this is going to be a full uh, theoretical explanation. And if you are someone who is expecting a practical explanation, please skip this video. All right. Optimize direct query models with the table level storage. So what is what is direct query first of all? So when you're working with an Power BI, you definitely import a data source, right? So that type of that data source, if the data source is in import mode, what Power BI will do now, it will the keep the data source within the Power BI and make the transformations and all the stuffs in the Power BI engine. So what a direct query mode will do now, it will directly connect to the data source and it will every time query the data source whenever the transformation happen, whenever the visual is implemented, Power BI will query the underlying data source and give the result. So this is the two different mode, and there is another mode called combination mode, and you can some of the data you can import and some of the data you can use in a direct way. So combination of both of these is called as combine mode. Yeah, I guess. And using direct query, the user experience depend on the data source performance. With the slow response time or higher user load potentially lead to the timeouts and performance issue. So it is nothing but a simple concept. So many of the people using the direct source means, and suppose a report has 10 visuals and 20 members are using at a time, it will take 200 times to query the data from the underlying data source. So it may lead to potential performance issue. So that is the basic concept. And limitations of direct query connections, let's see. So the first one is performance, as we had discussed before. There are heavy performance issue while using the direct query, as many person using the underlying data source. And security, so if you're speaking about the data source and the data set, so if you are sharing the report with the users, you have to share the also with the data set. So that is one of the biggest security concern. And transformation, most of the transformation is not possible using the direct query, and OLAP sources like SAP Business Warehouse does not allow any transformation at all. And modeling, so some modeling restrictions would be there if you are using the direct query, and most of the features with direct query will work, and some unique features like quick insights, question and answers, and this will not completely work in the direct query model. And Excel Explore may face limitations, so it can perform, but it will be very poor in terms of performance. And let's see how to optimize the performance in direct query. So there are three ways. So these are the important aspects to take into account. The first one is optimize data in Power BI. So to optimize data in Power BI, use performance analyzer. So within the Power BI, you can use the performance analyzers to you can find the visuals and the fields, and also the DAX query, how much time it takes to return the query. These things and all you can use the Power BI performance analyzer, and you can find it based on this. And optimize the underlying data source. So this should be the first and foremost thing we should take into account. And optimize the data source for direct query by tuning the databases and avoiding complex calculated columns. So what it will do now, it will push the calculations to the Power BI, and Power BI will struggle to optimize the performance. So instead of doing like that, you can you can do the calculations in the source, and that too not complex calculated columns. By adding surrogate keys to the dimension table and reviewing and updating the indexes and following the data source guidelines. So these things can be increased potential performance. And yeah, so customize the query reduction options. So there is an option in Power BI called query reduction option. I will show a picture of it. So when you go to the Power BI and go to the file in the left hand side, and after clicking that, you can go to the options and settings. After coming to the query reduction here, you can see that you can disable the cross highlighting and filtering by default. So you can disable this. So what it will do now, it will disable the default visual interactions and customize using, and after that you should customize using the edit interactions. So basically, if you are clicking a one item in one column or one value in Power BI, basically what it will do now, it will filter based according to the value you selected. But if you're disabling this option, it will not, it will not act to the values selected. So if you're selected India, it will not show the sales happen in India. For example, you have a key performance indicator, and before disabling this option, if you are clicking India, it will show the revenue of India. By turning off this option, it will not show. So you should manually use the edit interaction option to which of the you will basically customize which I want, which I don't want. So that is reduce queries. And the next one is slicers. So you can see here slicers. So by unchecking the instantly apply slicers and enabling the add and apply button to the slicers to apply changes when you are ready. So what it will do now, by adding an apply button, the slicers for manual updates instead of instant changes. So the slicers will also require a manual changes. So it will not work automatically. So that is the explanation behind it. And filters, add and filter apply button to the basic filtering or filters pane, apply changes manually. So this is also a same way of doing it. So it will not instantly apply filters. It will use the single apply button and to filter pane and to apply the changes at once. So I haven't used these buttons, but I guess what by reading its meaning, I could visualize how it would be. So if you are selecting slicers, you will be directly given answer, right? So this is not possible when you enable these options. So it will ask you one more time to apply changes. So after apply changes only, the filter or slicers will act. So this is the explanation. And yeah, so we have completed the direct query models with table level storage, and let's go to the next topic, which is create and manage aggregations. So for this, I'm explaining in Microsoft website itself. And so what is create and manage aggregations? So basically, when you are before aggregation, your table will be in the table which is in the left side. After aggregation, the table would be a little shrink. So yeah, that is aggregations. And aggregation is based on the group. So if you are doing group by, you will be getting these aggregations and the table will be smaller. So after considering your current business goals and discussing with the stakeholders, you can aggregate the data set you have. So how to create an aggregation? So if you go to the Power BI, and if you go to your Power Query, so it is a best practice to aggregate your data in the original data source itself. But if that is not the case, you can go to the Power BI and you can go to the Power Query. After that, you can see how. So if there is a 999 plus rows, most probably that table is not aggregated. Okay, so this is how you should find. and after that you can go to the choose column and the column you want to choose. So in this case they are choosing order date, order quantity and sales amount. They want to group by by order date. Okay, so after doing that, you can see an option called group by. Click it. It will be in the home tab. You can click it. After clicking it, you can say to the advanced mode, and so based on which category you should group by. So that should be here, and in this case we are going to group by in a order date format, order date based on order date. So we can say order date, and we can say the aggregations based on that. So online orders count, we can say count. So here we will be having then operations. So we can say count, subtract, sum, average and all, mean, median. So that and all will be there. And if you want to add more aggregations, you can click here to add aggregations. So let's see how it would be after the aggregation. So after the aggregation, it would be like left side there you can see the date column. So by these date columns only the data has been grouped, and here we have the online orders count, and here we have the sales amount, and here we have the quantity amount. So sum of quantity. And after aggregation, you can see that there is no 999 plus rows. It's showing that 30 rows only are present in this table. And after doing your your aggregations, you have to close and apply and go to the Power BI desktop. And after that, you can, in the report view or in the table view, you can right click the aggregated table, and you can say manage aggregations. By doing manage aggregations, you can afterwards also you can change the summarization method. So the online orders count is in some count, right? So we can change it to sum or average, anything we want. So that is how this manage aggregations options will work. And yeah, that's it I had for this video. And if you are an expert watching my video, find any mistakes or miscommunications, please let me know in the comment section. I'm open to learn from everyone. Thank you.